Hi everybody, this is Linda Carroll from my studio, Gather of Great Things, and today is Waste Not Wednesday. We're going to be doing a new collage made from trash and junk mail, and our collage is going to be a little bit different than others that we've made. It is going to be based on work by Schwitters, and it is going to be created using a substrate of cardboard. You can use anything that you have, paper, preferably heavy duty paper, or you could use a small canvas. You can use an art book. You can use anything that you want. I'm going to be using corrugated cardboard, a piece that I got in a mail package. That's what I'm going to be using. I'm also going to be using envelopes. I'm going to be using, well, let me show you the finished collage. And it's very colorful. It is very, very different from, I think, most things that we've done before. And I used a variety of different things that just would have been thrown in the trash. I didn't have to go through the trash to find these things like Kurt Schwitters started doing back after World War I. But it was a lot of fun creating this one, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for being here. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. If you hit the bell icon, you'll be notified of my future videos. And also you can share or make a comment. I would love that. And give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. You know, it's kind of difficult to really break into the YouTube world, considering their logarithms and everything else. And I consider myself very fortunate to have the followers that I have. So please share and tell your friends about what we're doing here, so they can join the fun. And I'm going to turn off this camera and go to my overhead camera so you can see the mess that I have on my desk. I just got back from Dollar Tree and just emptied the bags, and I'll show you some of the things that I'll be using and also some of the things that you can get to use in your collages. So I'll be back in a minute. Look at this. This is the pile that I brought back from Dollar Tree, and I just want to go through things really quickly and talk a little bit about how you can use these pieces in a collage, or indeed any type of artwork that you're planning on doing. So number one, I'm going to start from the top of my pile. I found these little spray bottles. And you can mix pigments in these, just like these spray bottles. You can mix watercolor, you can mix ink, and spritz color onto your backgrounds, or onto your paintings or collages, either one. So these were a good deal, 2 for $1. And then I found these stencils, which would be really, really fun to use in a collage. I found some glue dots, pop dots, which they might be a little thick to use in a collage, but can definitely be used to temporarily place pieces so they don't move, and then go back later and glue them in place. Take the dots off and glue them in place. I found this set of tweezers, which are really great to have when you're placing little teeny tiny pieces. And I've been, let's see here, I've been using one pair that I have, but let's see what this is here. These aren't real heavy duty, but they definitely will work if you're placing little tiny pieces of collage and getting ready to glue them in place. Yes, this one isn't totally lined up, but would still hold a little piece. This is one of these, the backward kind of tweezer, and this would be really good if you are enameling something and metal and you want to hold it so that you don't burn your fingers on the piece. So I've been looking for one of those. And then this one has like paddle ends to the tweezers, so these are great. And I got 4 for $1. So I love those. I'll put them over here in my container. These clips are just good for holding down a journal if you're working within the pages of a journal. I already have some of these to clip down pages so they'll be flat, and I decided I definitely needed some more. I found these napkins, which would be really great to include in a background. The white in the background just kind of disappears. So, and then I found these doilies, which are also fun. I found paper tape, which can be colored with watercolor or inks, or just use as is. It's just a really nice texture. I found these stencil letters today. And let me take a look at these. I think they're what I was looking for. I really thought they had the brown ones. But, you know, these will work to use in a collage. You not only have the positive number, but you also have the negative space. And for stenciling, you know, you just need to pop out that 2, but you can use the 2, and then you can also use the negative space too, which is, this is what I was after right here. So I have numbers and I have letters, and I have a feeling I probably should have bought a couple packs of those. I also found these canvas backings, 8 by 10, which would be great to use for a substrate for your collages. I bought a number of those. And then I found these pointer tools, which are great for punching holes in tags or whatever you needed to mark. Now let's see here. And also there's a scoring end on the other side. It's not really, this is really sharp though, so you could definitely punch a hole in something with this. And I got a couple of those. And then I also found these embossing tools, and indeed they can be used for embossing or just for scoring on a, if you're folding and you want to fold a piece of paper to make a card or just fold it to cut, you can use these scoring pieces against a straight edge. So I got a couple of those. And although one of my rules is I can't use any books in my trash to gems or junk to gems, I did find this book, and I bought it because the textures in here and the shapes are so great. Look at that blue. It's just beautiful. And I can, you know, use the my punches in here and get all kinds of really, really neat textures to use. Let's see here. Let me get one of my punches. This is a 1 inch. So if I slide this, oh, I'm gonna have to, oh, I can just do this right here. But what fun is that to use in a collage? And there's just, you know, so many neat textures in here. And that's what you want to look for when you're looking for children's books, mostly, because the drawings are usually very simple. But I just love these. You know, here's a lined texture. So I'm going to have a lot of fun punching images out of here. Look at this up here. You know, wonderful, wonderful textures to use in your collages. So this is a definite at some point in time. And then today in my mail, I got a bunch of junk mail. This was in one of the envelopes for charities that we give to. And it's like a children's drawing. This is in all different languages. So I have some really good texture to use in the backgrounds or as items in my collages. I love this. We can color this with markers or sprays or pastels, anything that we want, but such great texture. And I haven't a clue what it says, but it's a lot of fun. Envelopes, and when you get envelopes, these look boring, but when you get envelopes, always look on the inside and see if you have any, oh, there's the envelopes from my Valentine's Day cards. Let's see what's inside here. I don't even know. We'll see. Here's a green envelope. That's pretty. Not much else. That'll go and recycle. And then these things are flyers that came in the mail. And, you know, what great lettering and numbers. Always look at the numbers and the letters in flyers like this when they come in the mail. Because usually they just go in the trash. And, you know, we can work with these. So I have this one and then this little flyer. Look for words that you might want to use in your collages in these. The word you right here is great. Now this one's newsprint, but it's still usable. Again, lots of great numbers in here. So we have lots of stuff to start with today. Here's another flyer. So anyway, we've got some great stuff to work with. So let me kind of clean up my area here a little bit, and let's start on a collage and see what trash we can put together to create a real gem of an artwork. I'll be right back. Okay, I have been gathering together some things that I'm going to use in my collage. And when you create a collage, you only need a few things. That's one of the wonderful things about collage. You don't need a lot, and you don't have to spend a lot of money in order to create something fabulous. So you need some kind of glue. I use glue stick most of the time. I found this craft glue at Dollar Tree that I might try out. I also use something called Fabri-Tac, especially if I'm gluing down fabric or string or something like that. Then I also use an art glitter glue, and it dries clear. It's non-toxic, it's water-based. So those are basically the glues I use, but I love my glue stick. You need a pair of scissors to cut your papers with. You need you don't need this. It's nice to have, but an X-Acto knife with a number, I think this, yeah, a number 11 blade, because that has the sharpest tip to it. But if you don't have one of these, you don't need one. As long as you have scissors, you're good. And you need something to glue on. Paper. I use an old book that I've used the cover for another book that I've made. So I use an old book and just tear the pages out. Old phone books I've used. Old magazines I've used. So that's basically it. And then you need a pile of junk. Junk mail. And all this is junk mail, old calendars, things I've collected, vegetable and fruit stamps, so many different things. But today, what we're going to do is a collage inspired by Kurt Schwitters. And this piece I love, absolutely love, because there is so much going on in the piece. There are so many textures, there's stamps, there's lace, there are magazine pages, there's cardboard, there's tissue paper, you name it, it's in here. Envelopes, pieces of envelopes, all kinds of stuff. This is a tire, it looks like, out of a catalog. And tickets and price things and numbers and just so much. Now, a lot of times people thought that he just acted spontaneously. Whatever he had, he just glued down to the paper, which is one way that you can work. And you can be very successful working that way. But you have to remember, Kurt Schwitters was a graphic designer as well as many other things. He knew design. He knew when a piece was balanced. He knew when the pieces in his collages were in harmony with one another. He was very aware of the colors that he was using. Mostly in here is oranges and reds. And then he used some blues, which are complementary to the oranges. So he was very, very aware that your eye, when you look at this, would probably go here to this big white thing in the middle, and then to the blues. And then, because of the movement of this piece, mine then goes to the tire down here, which is almost where everything else shoots out from. And indeed, one of the techniques used in collage is a technique that causes a lot of movement, that looks like something is exploding. And this looks like, to me, that this tire down here is just exploding out into all of these other pieces, and it makes a great movement from the bottom of the page to the top of the page, and going out too, because it kind of fans out to the side. So what I'm going to do is create a collage similar to this. I'm going to use similar materials. But first, I'm going to think about the colors. He thought about using oranges. He probably had a lot of orange paper, orange, maybe paint pieces, painted papers, insides of envelopes, newsprint that have been printed in orange. Then he thought, well, okay, I have orange, and red is right next to that on the color wheel, so I'm going to find some red pieces. They're not dominating the piece, although they're darker, but they do enhance the orange. You can notice he placed this red near this orange, this red near this orange, this red near this orange. He has like a burgundy down here near this orange, overlapped this kind of dark red over this orange, and down here he has a few pieces of red kind of scattered in here, but they're smaller pieces. And then he needed something that would contrast to these reds and oranges. So he found these blues. There's a light blue, a dark blue. There are some kind of a cobalty kind of blue over here. There's a blue over here. It looks like a piece out of a magazine. So he's thinking about color. He's thinking about what works with what. And then he has a lot of neutrals in here. Creams and white and beige and some browns. So he's very conscious of what he's doing. He has some hard edges in here that he has cut, or when he found the pieces, they were cut in those shapes. He has some torn edges in here. He also has this lace, has a very frilly look to it, in contrast to the very straight edge that it sits beside. And that adds interest to your piece. So what I'm going to challenge you to do, and challenge myself to do, is to create a collage out of junk that looks like it is exploding. Now, if you don't want it to explode from the bottom out like this, you can make your center point here in the center and have it exploding out all around that. You could put your focus point up here in the corner and have it exploding downwards like sunshine or moonshine. You could put your center focus over here in this corner and have it exploding outwards. You could have two. This might be a little bit confusing, but you could have one on this side and one on this side over here and have your pieces exploding out from it. But you want to create movement, that feeling of movement in your piece. So let's get started, and I'm going to cut some pieces, I'm going to tear some pieces, and I think I'm just going to leave some pieces just like they are. You know, I just cut these little, they're little stickers off of an address label, and I made use this exactly the way it is. For my substrate, I'm going to use a piece of cardboard. You can use paper. You can use, I suggest if you're using like thin copy paper, you glue a couple pieces of that together. You can use a canvas board like this. You can use whatever you want to use, and it will be fine. You can always, I will probably back this onto another board when I'm finished with it. I think the first thing I'm going to do is start tearing up. I'm going to set this in front of me so I can get the feel of it. And I like the way that there's a center point down here at the bottom and then things are shooting off from it. So I'm going to start looking for pieces that I can use that will work. Now I love this lettering up here, and because it's a, you know, it's in a straight line, I think this would be great in this particular piece. Make sure you have a trash can or trash bag close by so that you don't get trash all over the floor. Because you do end up with a lot of recycle, which is fine. You're utilizing a lot of this trash or recycle. So I'm just kind of laying these in here. I'm not really thinking about it that much, except I want the motion of these pieces of paper to be going upwards and outwards. That little piece said, I need to go right here. And he was right. Now, be aware of your edges where your pieces are overlapping. You want to make sure that your edges meet, and you don't necessarily want your background showing at all. Okay, I'm going to start over on this side. I've kind of lost my the design that I came up with, but that's okay. I've got everything going in the right direction that I wanted. So let me see what I have glued down and what I don't have glued down yet. And the pieces that I have. See, I have a piece of that here and a piece here. I think I need a piece there. And that can go there. Okay, we're getting there. I really like the juxtaposition of this US postage beside this Chinese stamp here. It works really well. Okay, this is when you need to start checking and making sure you've got your motion going here. And I think right here I need to add something that will keep the motion going in this direction. So let's put this here. And I have these pieces. What else do I have over here? These are some old cigar labels. Pick up my colors and also kind of pick up this same shape down here. I don't like that white. I do like that. What else we have? I have this cute bag. Oh, look at those little hedgehogs. Okay, they're too cute. And I like this pattern here. And I have red hedgehogs and I have green hedgehogs. I think I want the red ones. How cute. These are for you, Claudine. Love that. Oh, how cute is that? And I love how, you know, the colors just start, it seems, calling to other pieces. Okay, we still have our movement going here, which is good. That's what we need. Let's see here. That one will go there. What else do we have? I have no idea what this is, but it's fabulous. I think it's some kind of ticket. It's right there. That can go right there. Make sure that you're getting all of your spaces filled. And we're almost to the point where we're done. Okay, at this point you're gonna start adding things and saying, does this add to my design? Does it add to my collage? Or does it detract from it? And I think I like this because it's gonna balance out this black here. So I am gonna use it. And notice I'm not paying any attention to what these things are. They become designs, they become colors and shapes, and I'm not really concerned about what they are or why they were created, because they're being transformed into something different, something new. And you know, the design of this is really interesting. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to trim using my X-Acto knife. Now you could use your scissors too, but I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and go around these edges. I'm cutting on a self-healing mat. If you don't have one, make sure that you're not cutting on a surface that you'll ruin by cutting on it. So, you know, get yourself a heavy piece of cardboard, something like that, piece of wood, whatever it takes to cut. Okay, what do you think? I think we need a couple pieces. to kind of break up the design a little bit. Let's see here. I think right now what's bothering me is this piece right here. I think it's too dominant. Maybe it needs to be straightened up a little bit. Let me try this piece. Yep, I think that's what I needed to keep that. Keep going in that direction. There we go. And let's see. I really love all the colors. I love the movements. I think I might need a little bit more overlapping by using maybe different, some different textures. I really liked this. And this little piece of this orange is bothering me right here. Okay. And I think I'm about ready to call this finished. And just sit with it for a while and see if I need to add some little things, very little things. Like that. think it adds to it or detracts? I really like the numbers. I'm not too sure about the circles. I like that. Okay, I guess it had to go underneath that for me to like it. Okay, that's good. I really like where this 27 fell. Kind of really breaks up that black right there. Now, this is the random part, and I like it. It just kind of breaks up the motion a little bit, kind of jogs it a little bit. It may not work for you, you know. In that case, you just pick them up and leave them out. And at this point, my fingers are getting really sticky. And I'm feeling like I need to walk away from this for a little while. But I really like the way that it's come along. And I you know, when I think all this stuff just would have been thrown away, it makes me glad that we were able to transform it into a piece of art. I don't know if that's going to stick. But what fun. Great amount of play and enjoyment. And some mystery about what's behind this. Is there a narrative? Is there a story? Or can we just enjoy it because we made it? You know? And enjoyed the process of making it. And sometimes that's enough. Sometimes that's just enough. Oops. And you know what? It's just trash. But what a gem we've made of it. I can find these little circles here. Okay. I have to say, I really enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun. Just gluing and thinking about design. I think you would agree that it's balanced, that the colors are all working together, that we have movement and motion throughout the collage, and it's a lot of fun. We have a little bit of dissonance here with these numbers and circles just sprinkled through, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, it's something that will draw your eye to different parts of the collage. So I hope you enjoyed this Waste Not Wednesday, and I hope you will go find some stuff in the trash and put together a collage. You can use anything at all. Just remember, if you start looking, kind of look for things in the same color family. Think about how you can cut it up or tear it up in order to create your collage. Think about the scale of things that you are saving. Save it, because you never know. But if you're working on a little tiny 3x3 inch paper, you're going to need little tiny images to work on that paper. So I love it. Thank you, Mrs. C and Kathleen, for suggesting this. It's a lot of fun, and I'm going to mount this on another piece of card, probably black, to hang in my studio. I love it. So I want to say many blessings to you. I hope you're having a good night or evening, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.